Have you ever wondered why trying to quit smoking feels like this impossible uphill battle of pure willpower? Well, what if I told you it's not about willpower at all? It's about strategy. Today, we're breaking down a step-by-step guide to quitting, not by fighting harder, but by fighting smarter.
Okay, let's just start with this, because it sounds completely backward, right? The idea that the people who actually succeed, well, they weren't just gritting their teeth harder than everyone else. This is the core idea we're going to unpack. There's a different way to do this, a better way than just using brute force.
And honestly, this is why so many people fail. We treat quitting like it's this mad dash of just resisting, and then we get totally exhausted and wonder why we've relapsed by Thursday. Look, the problem isn't that you don't want it enough. It's that you're going into a complex fight without a plan.
So we're going to fix that right now. What you're about to see isn't just a bunch of friendly advice. Nope. This is a detailed roadmap. We are going to walk through the exact steps to take, day by day, to finally give you the upper hand.
First things first, we have to completely reframe this whole battle. This entire plan is built on one simple idea. Willpower is like a muscle or a battery. It gets tired. It runs out. So instead of just trying to drain it every single day, we're going to use strategy and a little bit of knowledge to take the addiction apart, piece by piece.
And that leads us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole thing, the preparation. Seriously, what you do in the days before your official quit day is way more important than the day itself. These first few days aren't about deprivation. They're about building your arsenal for the real fight ahead.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. On day one, you're not quitting. You're not even trying to cut back. You're just becoming a detective. You smoke like you normally would, but you write down every single cigarette, and more importantly, why you smoked it. This gives you your personal trigger map. Then, on day two, you look at that map and you cut out the 3 easiest ones. You know, the ones you smoke on autopilot? This starts teaching your brain that not every little urge gets a reward. And then day 3, that's when you learn to demystify your biggest enemy, the craving itself.
And this brings us to a really game-changing question. What if that overwhelming urge, the one that feels like it could swallow you whole and last forever, what if it was actually incredibly short? What if you could just wait it out?
Because that's the truth of it. The absolute peak intensity of a physical nicotine craving, it lasts for about 90 seconds. That's it. It's not some hour-long monster chasing you down. It's a 90-second wave. And just knowing that, well, that changes the entire game.
So here's the mission for day 3, and this is so powerful. When a craving hits, you don't fight it. You don't resist it. You grab your phone, you open the stopwatch, and you just watch it. You physically time it as it peaks and then fades away, all within that minute and a half. I'm telling you, the first time you prove to your brain that you can outlast it, something inside you shifts for good. Okay, so with that new secret weapon in your back pocket, you are ready for quit week. This is when you're going to face that physical addiction head on. But the difference is, you're not going in blind anymore. You are prepared.
So day 4 is the big one, quit day. Now day 5, that's probably going to be your toughest 24 hours physically. But here's the thing to remember. Every single craving you ride out using your 90-second rule is a victory. It's the physical addiction literally getting weaker. And then by day 6, you hit a massive turning point. The nicotine is officially out of your system. The chemical war is over.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. There are 2 totally separate battles when you quit. The first is that physical need, the nicotine leaving your body. It's intense, yeah, but it's short. It's basically over in those first 72 hours. Everything after that, that's about unwiring all those habit loops in your brain. That's when the mind games really begin. Which brings us to the first, and maybe the most dangerous, mental hurdle you'll face. And it comes right when you're starting to feel good about yourself, which is what makes it so sneaky. It's called the just one trap. Right around day 8, your brain is going to whisper this exact lie to you. It sounds so reasonable, doesn't it? Hey, you're celebrating your control. But this is just the addiction trying to find a clever backdoor to get back in. The absolute key is to recognize this thought for what it is, a trap. So how do you beat it? You don't get into a big wrestling match with your own brain. Instead, you just postpone. You tell yourself, okay, fine, I can have one in 20 minutes if I still really want it then. And this little trick is amazing. Just by kicking the can down the road, you take all the urgency out of it. And you'll find that 20 minutes later, that supposedly uncontrollable urge has usually vanished. All right, you've outsmarted the first big trap. Now it's time to look down the road. See, the addiction has a few more predictable ambushes planned for you over the next couple of months. But the best part is, because they're predictable, we know exactly when they're coming.
Think of this as your new best friend. It turns all that unknown future anxiety into a simple, manageable schedule of events. You already know how to beat the day 8 trap, and now you know to be on guard for the reward fallacy around week 3, a stress surprise at about a month and a half, and this really sneaky one, called the invisible one, right at the 2-month mark.
And here it is, your cheat sheet with the exact tool for each ambush. So around day 21, when your brain says, we deserve a reward cigarette, you reassign the reward. Go buy yourself something nice instead. On day 45, when a real-life crisis hits and your hand automatically reaches for a pack, you stop and just breathe and move for 2 minutes. It breaks the spell. And on day 60, when you've almost forgotten you were a smoker, you pull out that note you wrote to yourself back on quit day and you remember exactly why you started this.
Do you see the shift? This whole process, it changes quitting from this miserable white-knuckle test of endurance into a strategic game that you are fully, completely equipped to win. You're not just resisting anymore, you are anticipating, you're outsmarting, and you're executing a plan.
So, there it is. The map is laid out right in front of you. Every twist, every turn, every single trap has been identified, and you've got the specific tool you need to get past each one. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?